Wonder why I got 2 shot glasses for 1 Puffco Peak Pro chamber cleaning? Probably because I don't want to waste a whole bunch of new ISO on turning it into this color twice. So we're going to do a pre-washing and an after washing in this video. Let's go. Now, as you can see, what I got going on here is a heat plate for a coffee cup warmer. I am heating up that ISO first, and from there, I'm going to take my Peak Pro atomizer and disassemble it really quick, and from there, throw it in. Taking the cap off here. Be gentle with the Oculus tether cap. It's been seen to actually fail after a number of ruffians have posted, but if you got a terp pearl in there, you want to take that out too and go from there. So first thing we're going to do here is turn on our device and clean it out, get the terp pearl out, swab the bottom with some ISO and some Q-tips, and from there we're going to take this bowl out and throw it into our nicely warmed isopropyl alcohol. So I'm going to just do this really quick. Don't have to be perfect, but the more you get out now, the less you'll have to deal with later. The cleaner your isopropyl bath soaking will be. So I do this in 2 stages. I've got a wash and a clean stage. Got 2 different shot glasses. This one's the wash. This one's the wash. This one's the clean. So I find it helpful to do that personally. All right, that's all cleaned out. From what you can see, there's still a little bit of chaz, but hey. Now that you've cleaned your atomizer out, you're gonna just let it cool off before you're throwing it in. You don't want any thermal shock to your insert, atomizer chamber, whatever you want to call it. No thermal shock. Now the baby's cooled down a bit. She is not cooled down. Now that our Puffco Peak Pro atomizer chamber has cooled down, we're gonna take it and throw it into that isopropyl. If anything spills over, it'll evaporate. No problem, guys. So after that, you're gonna swish it around, give it some time. I'd say 20 minutes, half an hour. Let it soak in the wash cycle. You'll see. Like if I was to throw this atomizer in here, this would be the same color as this, and I still wouldn't be any closer to cleaning. You gotta do 2 cycles, so I prefer having 1 semi-rinse washed cycle for a starter just to get everything off, and then a final washing, cleaning just to polish everything off that might have not come off from the first wash, just because after the isopropyl's been soaking for a while, it already has a bunch of the remnants in there, and it makes it harder for it to clean. So opinion, fact, I don't know. Put it in the comments below. Also, don't forget, top it off. Just don't want everything evaporating out. We're about 5 minutes in. We're gonna do another swish. Just gonna turn it around. And we're back. I'd say 7 minutes later. At this point, you can flip it over maybe, even. Terp pearl out of there. Put that back in. And top it off. Another dirty piece that can always be expected is the interior side of the Oculus tether cap and just cover for the atomizer chamber. So you want to throw that in as well. And we are like 20 minutes in. Some more swishing, and we are pretty much ready to transfer at this point, I would say. Maybe a little bit longer. If anything, the Oculus cap will stay in there. Take that out. There. Throw it on the heat. And cap it. And we're like 5 minutes into this heat. We are going to just swish it around. Flip it upside down. Well, it is upside down. We're going to flip it right side up. And we're gonna cap it and turn up the heat a little bit. At this point, we are about 10 minutes in. Do another swish. You can see how clean it is. You really don't need to use your isopropyl as liberally as you might think. Conservative might be the way, and this is a good way. So now we're gonna take this out, and you have two options: to let it air dry or to heat gun it. I am impatient and I heat gun, but if you don't have one, it's okay, just let it air dry, and then from there do some heats on your Peak Pro. From there it'll be ready to go. Now let's heat her up. Now if you're going to use a heat gun, make sure you let it cool down. Don't want to burn your fingers. I've burnt my fingers one too many times and I won't do it again, and you shouldn't either, so I'm letting you know. Now before we go any further, we're going to want to clean out the atomizer threading. I'm using heady mops. They're thin, get into the edging, no problem. And as I suspected, there is still quite a decent amount of reclaim inside of this little apparatus. So do what you can. Now that we have done a cleaning on the threading, we're going to throw our insert in our atomizer chamber and do a neat little heat cleaning real quick. At the same time as doing that, we're going to take our Oculus cap out and get it ready to dry. One way or another, you can use some Q-tips, you can use a heat gun, really up to you, but for me, I personally like to use Q-tips just because you get all the remnants off. And now that we got the whole setup back together, put together, what we're going to do is just do one more heat cleaning, keep that cap closed, and let it bake. Let it bake, have a great time, and stay awake. So I'm going to give it some time, and we will be good to go. Now after all that, sit back, relax, preheat, and take a McFatty, man, because you deserve it. After all that waiting, no debating, you deserve it. Here we go. By the way, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to see more, give it a thumbs up and like it, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for stopping by.